In the 1990s, the US military tested two next-generation stealth fighters. One of them went on to become the legendary F-22 Raptor. But the other was quietly shelved, never mass-produced, never sent into battle, and honestly, largely forgotten. That aircraft was the YF-23 Black Widow II, a jet that many believe was faster, stealthier, and more futuristic than the F-22. So why did it lose? Was it politics? Was it doctrine? Or was the US Air Force simply not ready for it? Today we'll uncover the story of the YF-23, and why it may have been the fighter too advanced for its time. Let's rewind to the late 1980s. The Cold War was still on and the US needed a stealth air superiority fighter to counter Soviet threats well into the 21st century. This led to the launch of the Advanced Tactical Fighter, or ATF program. Two giants were selected to compete, Lockheed Martin with the YF-22 and Northrop Grumman with the YF-23. Both jets would be tested head-to-head in terms of speed, stealth, agility, and radar cross-section. But what Northrop Grumman presented shocked everyone. The YF-23 looked like it had come from the future, with its sleek, curved surfaces, V-shaped tail, and radar-deflecting body. It was a completely different take on stealth. The YF-23 wasn't just beautiful, it was powerful. It came in two variants, one with Pratt & Whitney YF-119 engines, and another with General Electric YF-120 engines. It could fly at super cruise speeds, meaning it could maintain supersonic velocity without using afterburners. That's a huge advantage for stealth and fuel efficiency. Its diamond-shaped wings and smooth contours were designed to deflect radar waves, making it harder to detect than the YF-22. Even its exhaust nozzles were designed to reduce infrared signatures, which made it harder for heat-seeking missiles to lock on. In simple words, it was faster, quieter, and more stealthy than its competitor. So where did it fall short? Back in 1991, after both jets had gone through some really extensive flight tests, the US Air Force made its final decision. They went with the YF-22, what we now know as the F-22 Raptor. So why did they pick it? Well, the YF-22 offered better maneuverability in dogfights. Its thrust-vectoring nozzles let it perform these wild, close-range aerial tricks that, honestly, looked super impressive during demonstrations. But, here's the thing, modern air combat almost never happens up close anymore. It's all about radar, sensors, and beyond visual range missiles. If you look at it that way, the YF-23's stealth and speed might have actually been way more valuable in real combat than the F-22's acrobatics. So, was the decision really about performance, or was there something else going on? A lot of analysts think the decision wasn't really about which jet was better, and had a lot more to do with politics and industrial lobbying. Lockheed Martin already had strong connections with the Pentagon and a really efficient production pipeline. Northrop, even though their design was super innovative, just didn't have the same political influence. Plus, the YF-22 was seen as easier to build on a large scale, with fewer technical risks. So, even though it outperformed in some key areas, the YF-23 was quietly pushed aside. Only two prototypes ever got built, and both of those ended up in museums. Now just imagine for a second, a different timeline. If the YF-23 had been chosen, the US might have put a stealth jet into service that was faster than the F-22, better for long-range interception, and maybe even adapted into a stealth bomber escort or a sixth-generation drone platform. And actually its design didn't totally disappear. A lot of elements from the YF-23, like its engine masking and the way its fuselage was shaped, showed up again in the B-21 Raider, which is America's newest stealth bomber. That's pretty clear proof that the YF-23's vision wasn't wrong, it was just a bit ahead of its time. So what can we take away from the story of the YF-23? Well, it shows us that visionary designs don't always win, especially when bureaucracy and industry politics get in the way. But the YF-23 still sends a pretty clear message to the US Air Force and the defense world today. The future of air combat isn't about flashy dogfights, it's about speed, stealth, range, and sensor dominance. As the US works on its next-generation fighter through the NGAD, or Next Generation Air Dominance program, the ghost of the YF-23 still whispers a warning. Don't repeat the same mistake. This time, choose the aircraft that's ready for the future, not just the one that looks good on paper.